You have gained notoriety for your skepticism about vaccines. And over the summer in an interview, you said, quote, "There's no vaccine that is, safe and effective." Do you still believe that?
I never said that.
So stop me. We have the clip. Please play the clip.
That was RFK Jr., who in a clip that has resurfaced and gone viral is being confronted with his own lies happening at the worst time possible because Donald Trump just named him to be his HHS secretary. So I'm going to have that clip in just a moment for you. There's also another clip that is leaked that has RFK Jr. making fun of Trump and his supporters. But first, I want to talk about Matt Gaetz, because Matt Gaetz has withdrawn from Trump's attorney general nomination, his pick. The main thing I want to say about this is that Matt Gaetz withdrawing is proof that Donald Trump is not a king. He is not infallible, and he can still be brought down by public pressure and by strong reporting. So do not be discouraged in these next 4 years, because this proves that Donald Trump still has to operate within confines. And if he can't get votes on his AG, then the AG has to withdraw. And so that is a really big deal for the pro-democracy movement during Trump's administration, because it shows that he still has to operate with the confines of our system. And for this moment, the system was bigger than Donald Trump. The public outcry was bigger than Donald Trump. Now, of course, Donald Trump has now put forward Pam Bondi, who is in some ways actually competent. But from what I have read and from some initial takes about people who know her, she is not someone who would be like a Matt Gaetz, who would go in there with a vendetta and do whatever Donald Trump wanted. She is someone who, according to reporting, respects the rule of law. So let's just kind of stay tuned on that one. But I think we might have ended up in a slightly better situation here. Now onto the main story. Of course, Matt Gaetz isn't the only clown that Donald Trump has nominated to head to the circus. He's also nominated RFK Jr. for his HHS secretary. RFK Jr., who has no background in science or medicine, is a lawyer and just a rich, Nepo baby. When confronted with his vaccine misinformation, he said, "I never said that." And then this reporter very smartly had the clip ready. So here's that moment, and then let's talk about why it matters.
You have gained notoriety for your skepticism about vaccines. And over the summer in an interview, you said, quote, "There's no vaccine that is, safe and effective." Do you still believe that?
I never said that.
So stop me. We have the clip. Please play the clip.
You've talked about that the media slanders you by calling you an anti-vaxxer. And you've said that you're not anti-vaccine, you're pro-safe vaccine. Difficult question. Can you name any vaccines that you think are good?
I think some of the live virus vaccines are probably averting more problems than they're causing. There's no vaccine that is, safe and effective. What I'm saying is that none of the 72 vaccines has ever been tested in a safety study pre-licensing.
So let's just say it flat out. It is dangerous to put this man in charge of our health. When you say there is no vaccine that is safe and effective. And so my hope is that RFK Jr. will get the same amount of pressure that Matt Gaetz did, because there's an even worse clip that says RFK Jr. suggests that kids should not be vaccinated at all. Listen to this. This sounds nuts.
For many, many years, I think parents were so gaslighted and they were scapegoated and they were vilified and marginalized, so that even parents of kids who were very, very badly injured knew what happened to their kid, but they were just reluctant to talk about it. And I think now those days are over. Our job is to resist and to talk about it to everybody. If you're walking down the street, and I do this now myself, which is, I don't want to do, I'm not a busybody. I see somebody on a hiking trail carrying a little baby, and I say to them, better not get them vaccinated. And he heard that from me. If he hears it from 10 other people, maybe he won't do it. Maybe he will save that child.
maybe he will save that child. You think preventing vaccines for a child will save that child? Do you still say this to parents today?
What I say again is I had 3 vaccines, Casey, when I was a kid, and I was fully compliant. My kids got 72. The current recommendations are, I think, around 77. And
I have a vaccine record for my child, and there are not 77
there are 77 doses. There are 72 doses of 16 vaccines. Oh, that's just a fact.
So let's take the Matt Gaetz withdrawing as a lesson that we can win. And RFK Jr. does not have to make it past the finish line. We can win. And I don't know about you, but I do not want someone in charge of the health of me, my family, my friends, anyone who I love, because RFK Jr. is a kook. He's a conspiracy theorist. He believes in the worst and most extreme ideas around science. And he also just believes in conspiracies around the Pentagon, 9/11, UFOs, it's just not someone you want near our health. But my hope, this reporting that came out from CNN is going to make it even harder, because one thing Donald Trump does not like is being made a fool. And here is RFK Jr. in this new CNN reporting in leaked audio that has RFK Jr. calling Trump supporters belligerent, idiots, cowards, and bootlickers. So let's listen to that.
You know, one of the things that you write so beautifully, and your stuff is so fun to read, but you write about Trump. Quote, the way that you build a truly vicious nationalist movement is to wed a relatively small core of belligerent idiots to a much larger group of opportunists and spineless fellow travelers whose primary function is to turn a blind eye to things. We may not have that many outright Nazis in America, but we have plenty of cowards and bootlickers, and once those fleshy dominoes start tumbling into the Trump camp, the game is up. When you talk about fleshy dominoes, Chris Christie comes to mind.
Yeah, exactly.
So RFK Jr., just like everyone else who supports Donald Trump, knows who Donald Trump is. They're just using him as a means to an end to attain power, money, and attention. And so my hope is that RFK Jr. does not make it past the finish line, that we can kind of cut this thing off before it starts. But again, the lesson from today, and the thing that has given me hope and a lot of energy, and I hope it has given you hope and energy too, is that I kind of went into this thinking that Donald Trump is just gonna be a wrecking ball. He's gonna do what he wants, he'll become a king. But Matt Gaetz withdrawing has proven that Donald Trump still has to operate within our system as it is right now, and the system held. And so let us use that energy and hope to now make sure that the other kooks who should not be anywhere near power and decision-making for our family and our country are all withdrawn.